Hello and welcome to this week's video. This week's video is sponsored by Michael Slatic Photography. Oh, hey, that's me. So we'll get into that a little bit later about what all that sponsorship stuff means. But until then, here's what the video is about. This video is a look back at 2021. What a year. Oh my goodness, what a year. Hope your year has been good. My year has been a year. So we'll talk about that, talk about some of the milestones personally, professionally, photographically. And yeah, that's what this video is all about. So let's get started. Let's take a look at some of the milestones this year. So before we look at the milestones for this year, my reason for doing this is I tend to live with when I'm in the moment. I also have at least one eye in the next moment. So these looking back opportunities are really helpful reflections and awareness moments for me to think about trends and patterns and what I need to learn and where I need to grow and what I want to do next. So that's the purpose of this video. I hope maybe there's some thoughts in here that might be applicable to you. So 2021 milestones, we're going to go chronologically because that's how I like to work. Makes sense to me most of the time. So the first thing that happened was early in the year, in January, I had my 10-year anniversary at Highline College. I've been teaching there for 10 years. So the interesting thing about that is, like all of my careers that I've had, well, except for one, I'm not trained in it. It wasn't planned. And I'm really glad for the opportunity. In hindsight, it's turned out better than I could have ever hoped for. So this teaching opportunity is a good example of taking advantage of an opportunity when someone asks you, do you want to do something you've never done before? So 10 years ago, I was asked if I'd be interested in teaching a class, and literally starting the next day, I said yes, and I'm really glad I did. This whole journey that of this year has really been a culmination of saying yes 10 years ago. So I'm really glad for that. I enjoy the students at Highline. I'm going to get to see some of them in person in the winter quarter of 2022 and beyond. We've been online for 2 years, so I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun. Next milestone, February 15th, one-on-one photography training. I launched a service, and here is your sponsor moment, one-on-one photography training with me. And what is that? Why did I do it? It's, again, in looking back. So one of the side effects, if you pardon the pun, of this COVID time has been I've learned how to do all of this stuff. I've got lights and studios. Well, studio's my office. I've learned how to do things remotely that I used to think I had to do face-to-face. So that brings me to realizing I can offer training to other folks who are interested in photography and not have to be in the same room with them. So in February of 2021, I launched an online one-on-one training with me, and it works really, really well. The first 30 minutes are free. They're a conversation to chat about possibilities and goals and agendas, and then after that we have as many sessions as you want. And what is one-on-one training? It's whatever you want. We can do Lightroom, we can talk about gear, we can talk about composition, we can talk about camera settings. It's pretty much whatever you need. And I've had a wide range of folks access that. I even have one person I'm working with locally, and we do meet face-to-face. So if you're in the Seattle area and want to meet locally, we could do that as well. I will leave a link to one-on-one training online in the description below. So if you want to learn more about that, please do so. And you will help sponsor the quality videos like this on YouTube. So one of the goals of the one-on-one training, in my short blurb of it, is it's for frustrated photographers to help them learn whatever they need to create the photos they want. So if there's something getting in the way of you're creating the photos that you envision, are thinking about, and wanting to create, this training might be really great for you to take a look at. So if you're interested, check the link below in the description. The first 30 minutes are free. Schedule an appointment and let's have a conversation and see where you maybe want to go. So thank you to Michael Sladek Photography for that commercial message. Next up, on March 15th, what happened? I got the Fujinon XF 70 to 300 millimeter lens, and that'll factor into a couple other milestones going forward. So how could a lens affect so much other stuff? I'm glad you asked. It's fit into my YouTube strategy. I knew this lens was going to be of interest to lots and lots of people, not least of all, including myself. I love telephoto zooms. So I got the lens as quick as I could, and then I did a couple hundred photos in a few days and launched a video within 3 days, and that kind of set me up for the rest of my YouTube growth this year. It started the trend. I'll show you some stuff on that in a minute. But what this lens now allows me to do is, now this is my kit when I go out. I have the 10 to 24, the 10 to 24, there it is, the 10 to 24, the 16 to 80, and the 70 to 300, all in one small bag, and I can cover from ultra wide angle to pretty long reach telephoto, and I've got it all covered. They're not the fastest lenses as far as aperture goes, but they're really great image quality. They're compact, they're affordable, and for me, they work really, really well. Relatively affordable. You know how affordable goes with lenses. Then on March 31, this happened. I reached 1,000 YouTube subscribers, and if you know anything at all about YouTube, you know that that 1,000 number is kind of the magic number for a whole bunch of other things, like you can start monetizing your channel by showing ads, you can do all sorts of things, plus it just feels like a nice number. So I reached that number soon after getting the XF 70 to 300 and doing that video. I posted the video review to a couple photography websites, and that helped drive traffic, drive numbers, drive interest, help me become discovered. The next milestone is a personal one. On June 14th, my 35th wedding anniversary, and a trip to Utah to visit my in-laws. So 35 years with this person, Debbie, my wife. This is from our trip to London in 2018. We can't wait to go back. Let's hope the world gets its act together and travel is less scary and more convenient. So we're looking forward to that for sure. Upon reflection of those 35 years, I realized, I think it was about 6 months ago, that I can trace literally a single event that led to me meeting Debbie, which in effect changed my whole life. It was the chair I sat in my winter semester, second semester, freshman English class, because I sat behind or near a guy named Matt Pena, who was kind of dating Debbie at the time. And anyway, then Matt invited me to lunch. I met Debbie and her roommate, blah, blah, blah. The rest is history, because I sat in that chair. And here's a picture from Utah, just to prove we were really there. A nice little long pano with Debbie on the right, taking some pictures, because that's what you do when you're in a pretty place. You take pictures. July 22nd, what happened on July 22nd? 2,000 YouTube subscribers. So growth is happening. I'll show you the whole chart when we get to the end of the year. It's kind of interesting to see the pattern. And then we go to October 27th, and this happened. NAAION. If you don't know what that is, you will in a minute. What is NAAION? It's not fun. You don't want it. So NAAION is non-arteritic anterior ischemic optic neuropathy. If you don't know what that is, what it means is I had a small and brief interruption of blood supply to my left optic nerve, and basically I've lost some vision in my left eye, which is not fun. So they don't know exactly what causes this. There are risk factors, of which I have a whole bunch. So I'm working on that, doing some health stuff to take care of that, and hopefully not have it happen in my right eye. But here's a little bit of what it looks like. So this is the example I shared with my eye doctor when they were asking, okay, so what's going on? So this photo number 1 here is normal vision. Photo number 2 is kind of what I see now in my left eye. Peripherally, there's some blurriness. It's not quite blocked, but there's a little part in my top left of my vision that is sparkly. So if you use the mask in Lightroom, which I used to create this, and just look at the mask, it kind of shows you the area of my vision that's affected in my left eye. It's not totally gone. It's just not sharp. It's not as detailed as I want. I'm already kind of, most days I don't even really notice it. There are times maybe I'm a little more tired, or I've got like now lots of lights in my face. I do tend to notice it a little bit more, but I can still fully function. The one of the downside is I'm left eye dominant, so I use my camera with my left eye. So I'm relearning how to use my camera now with my right eye, so I can make sure I get all the composition just the way I want. Yeah, what a year. My understanding is I have, again, a very mild case of this. A lot of people lose like top or bottom vision in one eye, or complete vision loss in one eye. So I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful for the wake-up call to help me pay attention to other areas of my health and be a little more intentional about less French fries. Okay, there you go. Moving on to November 8th. What happened on November 8th? We got to 3,000 YouTube subscribers. So the growth is happening in subscriber stuff, which is nice. You know, the numbers aren't everything, but they're kind of their own reward in a way, that to know that the stuff I'm doing here has a bit of an audience. Starting to get some folks who are regularly commenting. So that's always encouraging as well. Thank you for all the support, those of you who have commented. I've been blessed to not really have any trolls. I have maybe 2 every few months, but so I'm really grateful for all of you out there who are taking the time, your precious time, to watch these videos about a few things I am thinking about related to photography. So thank you. So I've been doing this YouTube thing for intentionally, basically this year, as I had a little extra, not extra time, but time I wasn't on the road driving to classes, so I could spend some extra time creating content for YouTube. And it's interesting, again, this lens video was the one that kind of launched the curve upwards, and here's what that curve looks like for the year. If you're curious about charts and graphs, here you go. So here we are back in March, and right here you can see on March 20, right about when I got this lens, I'm at 788, and then we get into the end of March, and right around there, March 31 is the day I crossed over from March 30 to 31 was the day I reached 1,000 subscribers, and that was primarily because of this lens. You can see the growth has continued. Now, if you want a kind of fun thing, here's my lifetime on YouTube, and it just goes to show you charts and graphs are helpful, but you need to know the scale and what's going on. So you can see, oh wow, look at all that growth, but all that growth is in the context of let's see, 7 years, and all the growth has been basically in the past 13 months or so. Well, 12 months. So context is important. Just saying. So next, as I'm looking back on 2021, I thought I'd take a look at some of the numbers for the year. I enjoy numbers to help give me context and a little bit of perspective. So here's some numbers. First of all, I took 7,335 photos. About 4,000 of those were for 2 weddings, one that Debbie was the lead, one that I was the lead. So personal photos, there's about 3,500 maybe-ish photos that I took for myself or projects I was working on. So that's about normal, maybe a little lower than I normally do. Again, I was spending a little more energy into YouTube this year, so we'll see where that goes. I created 43 videos, pre-recorded videos like this for YouTube this year, as well as 3 live stream videos. So lots of content this year. Only missed a couple weeks either for illness or travel or other stuff. So feel pretty good about that. Next up, what I thought I'd do is share a little bit about how income works in my life, at least on the things I don't get a paycheck for, these side income streams. And as most people will tell you about any kind of freelance or extra income, you need multiple income streams. So here's mine. Basically, I have two kind of basic income streams. I have the photography stuff, so someone pays me for photography directly of some kind or another, and then the other stuff. And I'll get into what that is in a minute. But for 2021, the photography was only 40%, and the other stuff was 60%. So interesting. So here's how that breaks down for me. 24% of my extra other income was the one-on-one training. 18% was graphic design. That was pretty much one project. I still do some occasional graphic design work. Also available for that if you'd like to contact me. And then 14% of income was AdSense, which is by the numbers, it's a relatively small amount, which is pretty true for just about everybody in the big scheme of things. And then some image licensing as well for this year. And then good old Etsy. I sold a couple prints on Etsy. I do have some prints up on over there as well. So, and then with all that having been said, all the stuff that happened in 2021, looking ahead a little bit. So I'm not one to really plan career-wise. I have some ideas and some thoughts and some potential stuff, but if you would have told me a year ago I would be doing the YouTube channel will be where it is now and all that, I would have been surprised. So I'm not 100% sure where all this will be going. I imagine I'm going to continue doing a lot of the stuff I have been doing. I do hope to get out more, bring the camera with, and create some story type videos with a la Thomas Heaton kind of things. If you don't know who Thomas Heaton is, look him up and enjoy. You're welcome. That's one thought I've had. Other potential things is some more live streams. Everybody's doing a podcast. I've thought about a podcast just because there's a way that podcasts give you an opportunity to go a little bit longer, maybe just one topic focused, and there's a different audience for that than YouTube. I know I consume podcasts differently than I do YouTube videos. So thinking about that as well. And then also thinking about you all. If you have suggestions for topics you'd like me to see, like me to cover on this channel, information that will be helpful in your photography journey, all that stuff, please leave a comment below. I'd be really, really interested in seeing what you're thinking about, what you're hoping to learn more about, what would help you grow. So yeah, very, very open to that, and love the conversations I've had with a few folks about things like that. So there you have it, some milestones and memories for me from 2021, both personally, professionally, photographically, and a brief look ahead at 2022. Who knows what that year will be like. I hope you are able to stay well and healthy in the days ahead, that you are able to create photos that you really, really enjoy and that are expressions of what's going on for you. If you liked this video, you know what to do. You're going to hit that thumbs up button, and that will help train the YouTube algorithm about videos you enjoy. And I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to this channel. That will give you more videos like this in the year and years ahead. So other ways you can support this channel, the one-on-one photography training, if that is of interest to you. Again, the link for that is below, and you can have a free 30-minute session. We can have a conversation on Zoom and figure out maybe where you'd like to go. Other than that, you can also buy me a coffee. You can join the channel. There's some benefits to joining the channel. You can see those in the channel benefits information. And yeah, that's all a great way. I appreciate the support, and look forward to creating some more stuff in 2022. And we'll see where the journey goes together. So until we meet again, stay safe, stay well, and have fun creating photos. Bye for now.